When you look at the world around you, everything is connected by patterns, hidden codes that hold the universe together. Numbers are not just symbols we write on paper or use for calculations. They are carriers of energy, frequency, and meaning. Science calls it mathematics. But in the realm of the spirit and the unseen, numbers vibrate with life. Think about it. The universe itself is structured mathematically. Galaxies spin in patterns, planets orbit the sun in exact calculations. Even your heartbeat carries a rhythm that can be measured in numbers. The divine order of creation has numbers embedded into it. Numbers have been used across cultures to unlock mysteries. Ancient civilizations studied numerology not as superstition, but as a way to decode the hidden energies of life. The Egyptians used numbers in sacred rituals. The Greeks connected numbers to harmony and music. The Hebrews believed numbers in scripture carried divine revelation. Even today, we see numbers influencing financial systems, stock markets, and digital codes that control the flow of money in the world. Numbers hold keys that unlock abundance. But here's where it becomes powerful. When you intentionally connect with certain numbers, you align yourself with their vibration. Imagine electricity flowing through wires. If you connect properly, you tap into that current, and it powers your life. That is what happens spiritually when you focus on specific numbers tied to wealth and abundance. It's not magic, it's alignment. The same way gravity works, whether you believe it or not, these divine laws of numbers operate regardless of human awareness. But when you become aware, you start using them to your advantage. This is why writing numbers on your hand is symbolic. Your hand represents work, effort, and creation. The ancient texts often say, "Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might." Your hand is the extension of your purpose. It is the place through which ideas become reality, where thought turns into tangible results. By writing sacred numbers on your hand, you are making a prophetic statement. My work, my effort, my daily actions are aligned with divine abundance. Every time you look at your hand, you reinforce that frequency into your subconscious. And your subconscious mind is the greatest magnet for money because it attracts not what you wish for, but what you believe and embody. Think about people who seem to attract money effortlessly. It's not always because they are smarter, stronger, or more talented. Many times, it's because they carry a mindset that resonates with wealth. They are aligned with a frequency of abundance. And alignment always attracts. If your radio is tuned to the right frequency, you don't have to chase the music. It comes to you. That's how money begins to chase you, when your frequency matches its flow. Psychologists now confirm that symbols and repeated affirmations shape human behavior deeply. A simple reminder written on your hand can rewire how you think throughout the day. Athletes write powerful words or numbers on their wristbands for motivation. Soldiers carry symbols that remind them of courage. In the same way, writing wealth numbers on your hand conditions your mind to think abundance, expect prosperity, and act in alignment with financial flow. And when your mindset shifts, your reality follows. One powerful story comes from an entrepreneur who in his early struggles used to write 100,000 on his hand every morning. He said it was not about superstition but focus. Every time he saw that number, it reminded him of his goal. It made him think differently about decisions, opportunities, and conversations. Within 2 years, his income surpassed that very number. Coincidence? Number, it was focus mixed with frequency, belief mixed with action. That is the essence of using numbers. They program your environment to respond to your intention. So when we say, write these 3 numbers on your hand, it is not about ink, it is about imprint. Ink fades, but the belief, it triggers imprints on your subconscious, and your subconscious is where wealth is either blocked or released by embracing the energy of numbers. You are unlocking a door many ignore. You are saying to the universe, I am ready to receive. I am aligned with abundance. I carry the frequency of wealth in everything I touch. This first step is about recognition. Recognize that numbers are not neutral. They are alive with meaning. Recognize that your hand is not just skin and bones. It is the gateway of your labor, the place where dreams are built. Recognize that writing numbers is not childish but spiritual. And once you understand this, you are prepared for the revelation of the three powerful numbers that, once written on your hand, align you with a lifetime of wealth attraction. When we speak about numbers that carry divine energy, we cannot overlook the power of 111. This is one of the most recognized numbers in the universe of manifestation and abundance. It is often referred to as an alignment code, a direct sign that your thoughts, words, and energy are magnetically pulling experiences into your life. 111 is a gateway number. It signals that what you are focusing on is multiplying. It's like a mirror reflecting your inner world back into your outer reality. Here's why this number is so powerful. The number 1 itself represents beginnings, creation, and individuality. It is the root of manifestation. When that 1 multiplies into 111, it symbolizes amplified energy, a magnification of your focus, and an accelerated pathway to your desires. Spiritually, it means the universe is listening closely to your thoughts. Financially, it means your beliefs about money are shaping the flow of wealth toward you or away from you. That's why 111 is called the manifestation accelerator. When you write 111 on your hand, you are aligning your labor, your actions, and your energy with the vibration of new beginnings and unlimited possibilities. Your hand becomes a reminder that every effort you make is not wasted. It is planting seeds that will multiply. Imagine writing 111 before you start your day. As you handle money, make business decisions, or interact with people, that number keeps whispering to your subconscious. Everything I touch has the potential to grow. Every action I take is aligned with wealth. Think about the power of repetition. When you hear a song repeatedly, it gets stuck in your mind. When you repeat a thought, it becomes a belief. 111 is like the universe's way of repeating back to you, yes, this is the direction. Keep thinking it. Keep believing it. That's why so many people report seeing 111 during moments of breakthrough. When they launch a business, start a new job, or shift their money mindset. The number is not a coincidence. It's confirmation. A real-life example can be seen in the story of a woman who struggled financially for years. She began practicing visualization and affirmations. But what changed her life was adopting the 111 code. She wrote it on her wrist daily and used it as a cue to pause and ask, what am I focusing on right now? Is it lack or is it abundance? Within months, she noticed a shift, not just in her thoughts, but in opportunities. Clients began calling her unexpectedly. Small checks started showing up in her mailbox. She later said, it was as if money had started chasing me instead of me chasing it. The truth is, 111 worked as a subconscious anchor, keeping her aligned with wealth energy. Now, here's the important lesson. 111 magnifies your focus, whether positive or negative. If you are constantly worried about debt, bills, and lack, 111 will amplify that fear and bring more of it into your reality. But if you focus on abundance, gratitude, and prosperity, 111 will multiply that energy and draw more wealth into your life. That is why writing this number is not a ritual of superstition, but of responsibility. You are declaring, I choose to focus on abundance. I choose to align my energy with prosperity. I choose to open the gateway of wealth. Writing 111 on your hand means every time you see it, you redirect your mind toward what you want, not what you fear. It becomes your daily check-in with the universe. Just as athletes rehearse their moves in their mind before stepping into the game, you rehearse wealth in your thoughts before wealth manifests in your reality. 111 is that signal to stay in alignment. Psychologists call this the reticular activating system, RASes. It's the filter in your brain that determines what information you notice. If you buy a red car, suddenly you start seeing red cars everywhere. If you program your ass with wealth, focused thoughts, suddenly you start noticing opportunities, resources, and connections that were always there but invisible to you. Writing 111 triggers your raster filter for abundance. You begin to see money making opportunities where others see nothing. So the first number in this journey is not random, it's foundational. 111 is the code of manifestation. It tells your mind to pay attention to your thoughts because they are shaping your financial future. It tells your spirit to align with abundance. It tells your actions to carry the energy of new beginnings. By writing it on your hand, you make a declaration that you are ready for wealth to chase you. Not because you're lucky, but because you are aligned. The gateway has been opened, the frequency has been set, and every time you see 111 on your hand, remember this truth: the universe is listening to you. Your focus is becoming your future, and your wealth is already on its way. The second number that unlocks the flow of money into your life is 777. While 111 represents manifestation and alignment, 777 takes you deeper. It represents divine wealth, spiritual completion, and supernatural favor. This number is not about chasing money through human effort alone. It is about stepping into a flow where money begins to seek you because you are in harmony with divine timing and universal order. Let's break it down. The number 7 has always been symbolic of perfection and divine order. Creation itself was completed in 7 days. Many ancient cultures considered 7 to be the sacred number of wholeness, wisdom, and abundance. When that number is repeated 3 times, 777, it becomes an amplified seal of blessing, as if heaven itself is saying, "It is done. You are covered. You are aligned." When it comes to wealth, 777 represents the abundance that comes not just from hard work, but from alignment with purpose and divine favor. It is a reminder that money is not only earned by your hands, but also attracted by your spirit. Some people toil endlessly and never experience overflow. Others seem to walk into opportunities that multiply beyond their effort. That is the power of favor, the invisible advantage, and 777 is the code of that favor. When you write 777 on your hand, you are declaring, "My wealth is not just a result of sweat. It is a result of divine alignment. My finances are covered by supernatural increase. My life is in the flow of abundance, not scarcity." It's not just about chasing money. It's about money chasing you because you are in rhythm with the universe's perfect timing. Consider the story of a man who worked tirelessly for years, but always seemed to hit financial walls. Bills piled up, debts weighed on him, and no matter how much effort he put in, money slipped through his fingers. Then he discovered the principle of 777. He began writing it on his hand daily, not as a superstition, but as a reminder that he was not alone in his financial journey. He affirmed, "Wealth flows to me in divine order." Within months, unexpected opportunities began to appear. He received a promotion he never applied for. An old investment suddenly matured. Even his small side business began to attract clients without heavy marketing. He said, "It was as if I had stepped into a current that carried me forward." That is the essence of 777. It positions you under a supernatural flow. But here's the key. 777 is not a number of laziness or passivity. It is not saying you should stop working and wait for money to fall from the sky. Rather, it is the number of completion. It means that when you have done your part, taken action, planted seeds, been faithful, divine multiplication steps in to complete what you cannot. 777 is the reminder that wealth is both physical and spiritual, both labor and favor. Writing 777 on your hand acts as a seal. Your hand, the instrument of your labor, now carries the symbol of completion and divine favor. Every time you see it, you are reminded that you are not striving alone. Your subconscious begins to expect unexpected blessings. You walk into rooms with confidence, knowing that favor is already waiting for you. You make financial decisions from a place of peace instead of fear. This number also shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance. Scarcity says, I must fight for every coin, and there will never be enough. Abundance says, money flows to me in perfect timing. I always have what I need, and more is coming. Scarcity keeps you anxious. Abundance keeps you calm, which ironically makes you more attractive to opportunities. 777 anchors you in that abundance frequency. From a psychological perspective, writing 777 works like a reset button for your brain. Neurologists talk about the brain's neuroplasticity, the ability to rewire itself through repeated focus and affirmation. By writing and seeing 777 daily, you are reinforcing the belief that wealth is already aligned with you, and your brain begins to look for ways to confirm that belief. Suddenly, you see opportunities where others see obstacles. You attract connections. Because you carry confidence. You say yes to doors that open instead of doubting them. Spiritually, 777 tells you that money is not random. It is part of a greater divine order. Your steps are ordered. Your effort is not in vain. Your wealth is not just about bank accounts, but about walking in a state of completeness where your needs are met and your overflow blesses others. So when you write 777 on your hand, understand this. You are carrying a symbol of divine wealth and supernatural completion. You are reminding yourself that your finances are not controlled by fear, lack, or endless struggle. You are aligning with favor. And when favor shows up, money does not just come, it comes multiplied, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. This is why 777 is the second number. It seals what 111 begins. If 111 opens the gate of manifestation, 777 completes it with abundance and favor. One sets the frequency, the other delivers the fulfillment. And when you carry this number, you step into a flow where money has no choice but to chase you. If 111 is the gateway of manifestation, and 777 is the seal of divine favor, then 888 is the number of overflow infinite wealth and never-ending supply. This number is not just about having enough. It's about entering a state where money, opportunities, and blessings flow continuously into your life, beyond what you could have imagined. Let's start with the symbolism. The number 8 represents balance, success, and abundance. It looks like a loop, a cycle, an infinite flow with no beginning and no end. When the number 8 is tripled, 888, it becomes a code of infinite increase. It symbolizes that wealth does not come in a single burst, but as a continuous stream that keeps circling back into your life. Unlike fleeting success, 888 represents sustainable prosperity that multiplies and overflows. Think about what infinity means. It means no limit, no boundaries, no end. When you write 888 on your hand, you are imprinting this truth into your subconscious. My wealth is limitless. My opportunities are endless. My supply cannot be cut off. Every time you see it, you are reminding yourself that the universe has infinite resources. You are not fighting over scraps. You are tapping into an endless ocean of abundance. This is crucial because many people live in a limited pie mentality. They believe that if someone else succeeds, it means there is less left for them. They see wealth as something scarce, like a pie where every slice taken leaves less for everyone else. But 888 shatters that belief. It tells you that wealth is not a pie. It is an infinite ocean. One person's blessing does not diminish yours. In fact, it can inspire and expand your own flowlets. Illustrate this with a real-world example. A man struggling financially once told his mentor, "I feel like there's just not enough money in the world for everyone to succeed." His mentor smiled and said, "Do you know how much money circulates globally every single day?" The man didn't know. His mentor explained that in global financial markets, Trillions of dollars move every 24 hours. Then he added, if you can't attract what you need from trillions circulating daily, the problem is not the money. It's your mindset. That moment changed him. He began meditating on the number 888 as a symbol of infinite wealth. Soon, he stopped seeing himself as limited and started seeing opportunities everywhere. Within a year, his income multiplied because he stepped out of scarcity and into abundance thinking. When you write 888 on your hand, you anchor yourself in the mindset of overflow. You stop thinking in terms of just enough and start expecting more than enough. And here's the paradox. When you stop chasing money desperately, money begins to chase you. Scarcity creates tension, which repels opportunities. But overflow creates peace, which attracts them. People like to do business with calm, confident individuals. Employers promote those who carry stability. Clients trust those who radiate abundance instead of desperation. 888. Rewires your energy so that money flows to you effortlessly. There's also a spiritual dimension here. In many traditions, 8 represents new beginnings and resurrection. Triple that energy, and you step into a lifestyle where every financial challenge is met with new beginnings, where every setback is followed by a comeback. Writing 888 is not just about receiving. It's also about resilience. It reminds you that no matter how low your account gets, no matter what losses you face, the cycle of abundance will rise again. Infinite wealth means you cannot be permanently stopped. The flow will always return. From a psychological perspective, 888 helps you break free from the survival mindset. Many people only think in terms of bills, rent, or debt. They live paycheck to paycheck, always thinking about covering the minimum. But 888 expands your vision. It trains your subconscious to think beyond survival into legacy, generosity, and overflow. When your mindset expands, your capacity to attract expands with it. You start asking different questions. How can I create streams of income instead of one paycheck? How can I invest in opportunities that multiply? How can I use my overflow to bless others? That shift alone is worth millions. So when you write 888 on your hand, you are not scribbling a number. You are declaring, I am tapped into the infinite. My wealth has no end. I am a magnet for opportunities, favor, and prosperity that never stop flowing. Every time you look at it, you remind your spirit that there is no ceiling over your life. You move through your day with confidence that the universe has more than enough for you, and that supply will never run dry. This is why 888 is the final number in the trilogy. 111 opens the gate of manifestation, 777 seals it with divine favor, and 888 takes you into the lifestyle of overflow, where wealth becomes your natural environment. When you carry 888, you step into a reality where money does not come and go in waves of struggle, but flows like an endless river chasing you down. You may ask, why the hand? Why not write these numbers on paper, on a wall, or in a notebook? The answer is simple yet deeply profound. Your hand is not just a part of your body. It is the symbol of creation, labor, and manifestation. Everything you touch, everything you build, everything you exchange flows through your hands. That is why writing 111, 777, and 888 on your hand is not random. It is a prophetic act, a powerful alignment of your effort with divine abundance. Think about the role of hands throughout history. In sacred texts, blessings were released through the laying on of hands, contracts, covenants, and promises were sealed with a handshake. In every culture, hands represent work, skill, and productivity. Your fingerprints are unique because your hand is uniquely designed to leave a mark in the world. So when you write wealth numbers on your hand, you are saying, everything I touch carries the vibration of abundance. Everything I hold multiplies. Everything I release returns to me pressed down and overflowing. Consider the psychological impact. Your hand is one of the most visible parts of your body. You use it constantly. When you eat, when you write, when you gesture, when you shake hands, when you count money. By writing the numbers there, you ensure constant reinforcement. Unlike a sticky note on your desk that you may forget, your hand stays with you everywhere. Every time you see it, your subconscious is reminded of the wealth code you are activating. This is not superstition. It is repetition. And repetition is what rewires your mind for prosperity. Neurologists explain that the brain is trained through consistent cues. If you want to build a habit, you need triggers, visual or physical reminders that keep you aligned with your goal. Writing these numbers on your hand becomes that daily trigger. It keeps you from slipping back into scarcity thinking. And it builds a powerful connection between your thoughts and your actions. Your brain begins to associate your hand with abundance. And since your hand is what you use to work, exchange, and create, your actions begin to flow in alignment with wealth. No, let's add the spiritual layer. In many traditions, the hand symbolizes authority and blessing. Kings extended their hands to show power. Priests lifted their hands to release blessings. Even in the modern world, we say, the matter is in your hands, meaning you carry the authority to make it happen. By writing 111, 777, and 888 on your hand, you are symbolically declaring that abundance is in your hands. Not in the economy, not in your boss, not in luck, but in the divine flow you carry within you. This act is a physical reminder of a spiritual truth. You have authority to attract wealth because you were created to produce, multiply, and flourish. Think about how powerful your hands really are. An artist creates masterpieces with his hands. A musician produces music that moves souls with his hands. A farmer plants seeds with his hands that later become harvests. A business person shakes hands and closes deals that change lives. Hands are where invisible ideas become tangible reality. So when you write the numbers on your hand, you are connecting the unseen frequency, energy, faith with the seen, your work, your actions, your money. It becomes a bridge where thought meets reality. Our real-world example, a young entrepreneur once shared that she used to write 888 on her hand before going into meetings with investors. She said it gave her a sense of calm and reminded her of abundance, not scarcity. Instead of entering the room begging for funding, she walked in with the energy of overflow. Investors could feel her confidence and clarity, and within months, she raised the capital she needed. She later said, "It wasn't about the ink on my skin. It was about the belief in my spirit that everything I touched could multiply." That's the essence of why the hand matters. Even practical psychology agrees. There is a concept called embodied cognition, which teaches that our physical actions reinforce our mental states. For example, smiling, even when you don't feel like it, can lift your mood because your body is signaling happiness to your brain. In the same way, writing numbers on your hand tells your brain, "I carry abundance." And your brain begins to act accordingly, shaping your choices, habits, and results. So why the hand? Because the hand is your daily reminder, your tool of creation, your symbol of authority. Writing wealth numbers on your hand merges the physical with the spiritual, the conscious with the subconscious, and the intention with the action. It ensures that you are not just wishing for wealth, but actively carrying the vibration of wealth in everything you touch. When you see 111 on your hand, you are reminded that your thoughts create your reality. When you see 777, you are reminded that divine favor completes your efforts. When you see 888, you are reminded that your wealth is infinite and overflowing. And all of this is happening not in some distant place, but in the very hands that shape your destiny every single day. The greatest secret of wealth is not found in the stock market, the bank, or even the opportunities around you. It is found in your subconscious mind. That hidden part of your mind is like a supercomputer running in the background, constantly influencing your decisions, your energy, and what you attract. Here's the truth. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you believe, and your subconscious is the warehouse of belief. This is why numbers like 111, 777, and 888 are so powerful. They don't just look like ink on your hand, they become codes that speak directly to your subconscious. Every time you see them, they bypass the surface level of your conscious mind and imprint on the deeper level where habits, patterns, and attraction are formed. Think about it this way. Your subconscious is like fertile soil. Whatever seed you plant in it will eventually grow. If you plant seeds of fear, scarcity, and doubt, you will harvest lack, bills, and financial stress. But if you plant seeds of abundance, favor, and infinite wealth, you will harvest opportunities, connections, and resources. Numbers are those seeds. When repeated and focused on, they reprogram your inner soil to grow wealth. Let's use 111 as an example. Every time you see it on your hand, your subconscious is reminded, my thoughts create my financial reality. It begins to filter your world through that lens. Suddenly, instead of focusing on problems, you start spotting opportunities. You notice the business idea others ignore. You see the profitable decision in a conversation most people overlook. This isn't magic. It's your subconscious aligning your outer reality with the inner belief. Then, there's 777, the code of divine wealth. This number tells your subconscious, I am not working alone. Favor surrounds me. That belief changes your energy. Instead of approaching life with desperation, you approach it with calm expectancy, and people respond to that energy. Employers, clients, and partners feel drawn to someone who carries peace and confidence. Your subconscious, programmed with 777, positions you for favor by guiding you into the right rooms, the right conversations, and the right timing. And then comes 888, the symbol of infinite supply. This code tells your subconscious there is no limit to what I can receive. This breaks the chains of small thinking. Most people limit themselves with beliefs like, I can only make this much or I'm not lucky enough to be wealthy. But when your subconscious is programmed with 888, it begins to reject those lies and embrace overflow. It pushes you to think bigger, act bolder, and expect more. And because your actions shift, your results shift too. This is not just spirituality. It's science. Psychologists talk about the reticular activating system, RAS, a small part of your brain that acts like a filter. It determines what information you notice and what you ignore. For example, if you buy a new car, suddenly you see that car everywhere, not because more cars appeared, but because your brain is now tuned to notice them. Writing numbers like 111, 777, and 888 on your hand tunes your RAS to notice abundance. You start spotting money, making opportunities, resources, and connections that were always around you but hidden by your old programming. Here's a powerful real-life story. A woman once said she had lived paycheck to paycheck for years. She stumbled upon the principle of number codes and began writing 111 and 888 on her hand daily. At first, she thought nothing was happening. But within weeks, she noticed subtle changes. She began feeling more confident at work. She stopped doubting her ideas and started speaking up in meetings. Her boss noticed and gave her a raise. She also attracted a freelance opportunity through a friend she hadn't spoken to in years. She said, "It felt like money had been waiting for me all along. I just had to tune my mind to receive it." That's the subconscious at work. The subconscious mind doesn't argue with you. It simply accepts what you repeatedly feed it. If you constantly say, "I'm broke," your subconscious programs your reality to reflect it. If you repeatedly write and see wealth codes, your subconscious begins to align your life with wealth. That's why writing numbers on your hand is more than ritual. It's repetition. And repetition builds belief. Belief then shapes your reality. Here's the key. The subconscious works automatically. Once programmed, you don't have to force it. Just like you don't consciously think about breathing or walking, your subconscious runs your financial attraction on autopilot. It nudges you toward people, decisions, and opportunities that align with abundance. You might call it intuition, but it's really your subconscious responding to the wealth codes you've planted. So when you write 111, 777, or 888 on your hand, you are not just making marks. You are sending messages to the most powerful magnet for money in your life, your subconscious mind. And when that magnet is aligned with abundance, wealth doesn't just appear once, it begins chasing you automatically, without strain, without struggle, without end. When you write numbers on your hand, you are not simply jotting down digits. You are engaging in one of the most powerful forms of subconscious programming available to you. Let me explain. The subconscious mind is like fertile soil. Whatever seeds you plant there, whether negative beliefs or empowering affirmations, will eventually grow into the reality you experience. The problem is, most people allow weeds of doubt, fear, and scarcity to dominate their inner garden. They replay old stories of lack, saying things like, "Money is hard to come by," or "I never have enough." These subconscious scripts become self-fulfilling prophecies, attracting circumstances that prove them right. But here's the good news. The subconscious mind does not resist repetition. If you feed it the right symbols and thoughts consistently, it will accept them as truth and begin shaping your reality accordingly. Writing numbers on your hand is a form of symbolic repetition that bypasses conscious resistance. Every time you glance at your hand, your subconscious receives another impression. Abundance is my portion. Prosperity flows to me. Wealth is chasing me. Over time, these impressions reprogram your inner world, and your outer life must eventually reflect that change. Think of athletes who visualize victory before a game. Studies have shown that when basketball players imagine themselves making free throws, their brain activity mirrors that of actually shooting the ball. In the same way, when you write numbers of prosperity on your hand, your brain interprets them as real cues to align your actions and energy with wealth. This is not superstition. It's neuroscience. You are training your mind to expect abundance, and what the mind expects, it creates. Consider a practical example. Imagine a man named Faisal who grew up hearing his parents constantly worry about bills. As an adult, he carried those subconscious fears into his career. Even when he earned well, money slipped through his fingers because deep down, he believed it was never enough. Then, he discovered the practice of writing abundance numbers daily. At first, it felt strange, even silly. But after a few weeks, he noticed his anxiety around money easing. He started taking more confident decisions, investing wisely, negotiating better salaries, and managing expenses with clarity. Within a year, Faisal's financial life transformed, not because of luck, but because his subconscious beliefs shifted from scarcity to sufficiency. Your subconscious is like the autopilot of your life. It makes about 95% of your decisions without your conscious awareness. If your autopilot is programmed with lack, you will always feel stuck. But if it is reprogrammed with abundance, you will naturally gravitate toward opportunities, solutions, and actions that multiply your wealth. Writing numbers is a simple yet profound way to reset that autopilot. Let's go deeper into why the hand is important. Your hands are the tools of creation. Almost everything you manifest physically involves your hands. Whether you are working, building, exchanging money, or giving. By writing numbers on your hand, you are literally inscribing abundance on the instrument that produces and handles wealth. It's like marking your tools with the seal of prosperity. Imagine shaking someone's hand in a business deal with those numbers still faintly visible. It becomes a symbolic transfer of wealth energy. Science tells us that repeated exposure builds neural pathways. The more often you see a symbol, the stronger the pathway becomes. By constantly noticing the numbers on your hand, your brain wires itself to prioritize financial opportunities and filter out distractions. Suddenly, what seemed like chance encounters or random ideas begin to appear. But in truth, your subconscious is directing you toward them. Here's a practical exercise every morning. Write the 3 prosperity numbers on your hand while saying, "Today, money is drawn to me effortlessly. I am aligned with abundance." Carry this with you through the day. Notice how your awareness changes. You may feel more confident in spending, more alert to opportunities, and more at peace with your financial state. This is the work of the subconscious, quiet, subtle, but immensely powerful. Remember, your reality is not created by chance, but by design, by the beliefs, symbols, and energies you plant in your subconscious. By writing numbers on your hand, you are reprogramming that inner design to reflect wealth, abundance, and unstoppable prosperity.